Today we'll be talking about Mozambique's infrastructure and how it is the best option to increase the GDP of the country. First, I would like to introduce some terms that I will be using in my presentation. So first of all, I would like to introduce correlation. Correlation is a measure that indicates if two or more variables fluctuate together. A positive correlation indicates that both of those variables increase in a parallel manner. A negative correlation indicates that those two variables increase differently. For example, if one increases, the other decreases. Another term I would like to explain is causation. Causation is if and how two variables influence each other. According to LSE Growth Commission, the tests in the UK have shown that increasing road infrastructure was one of the key factors to increase the gross domestic product per capita of the country. In 1999, on the road graph, 16.8% of all roads were paved in Mozambique. Meanwhile, the GDP is $190 per person. Taking data from 2000 to 2005, the data shows an increasement of almost 1% in relation to paved roads. Following the pattern, GDP also rose accordingly. It increased by almost $100. This indicates positive correlation. As mentioned by Bob McTeer from Forbes in the article The Role of Foreign Trade on GDP, a study showed that more than 5.7% of GDP was increased just by exports alone. This can also be seen in the data present. From 2008 to 2009, at the exports graph, we can see that there is an increase from $540 million to $820 million. Now we have to jump exactly 1 year forward in the other graph because of the delay. From 2009 to 2010, there is a clear increase showing positive correlation. The GDP increases from $420 to $530. Even though the data might seem very unstable, the general trend is positive and helps to identify a positive correlation between both graphs. According to a report of the World Bank, he studied the islands of Solomon and concluded that building an airport and other means of trading and connecting with the outer world helped to increase the gross domestic product. As mentioned in another article, New Parallel Runway, it would take about 7 years to build an airport from scratch. Because of that, on the graph we have to look at the effect after 7 years. Taking an example of the aircraft departures from 1995 to 1999, which has a massive increasement from 7,800 aircraft to 10,600 aircraft departures. Jumping forward 7 years in the GDP per capita graph, we can see a very positive correlation. From 2002 to 2006, the GDP increased from $260 to $385. This is another example of causation and how plane departures impact GDP per capita. So you might ask yourself why to invest in infrastructure. In conclusion, the positive correlation between GDP and dimension statistics prove that investing in Mozambique's infrastructure will increase the economical growth of the country the most. Another clear detail is that without infrastructure, other branches such as healthcare or law enforcement could not exist. They would not have equipment and tools to reinforce their solutions. Thank you for your attention and best regards in doing further business with you.